Top stories this evening, sponsored by Courts, bringing value home. First witness in Mohamed's extradition hearing testifies. Key extradition documents admitted into evidence. Political parties call for the resignation of Susan Rodrigues. Says it is time to end selective enforcement. Dr. Kirton calls for bipartisan approach on the Venezuelan issue. And I am not responsible for the removal of vendors at ROBB Street. YHIP breaks his silence. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm Travis Chase with the Tuesday, January 6, 2026 edition of the HGP Nightly News. We have what you need to know this evening. Extradition proceedings against Azraddin Mohamed and his father Nazar Mohamed moved into a critical phase on Tuesday after the prosecution called its first witness and formally placed key extradition documents before the Georgetown Magistrates Court. Here is more. The witness, Sharon Rupchan Edwards, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, testified on the receipt of handling of the extradition request from the United States, providing the court with a step-by-step account of how the process unfolded at the ministerial level. Rupchan Edwards told the court that on October 30, 2025, she received a package from the United States containing a bundle of documents, including an envelope marked Diplomatic Note number 417. After reviewing the contents, Rupchan Edwards said she immediately notified Onij Walrond, Minister of Home Affairs, and personally delivered the package to her on the same day. She described this as standard protocol when extradition requests are received. She further testified that she later recognized the order to proceed issued in the matter, identifying the minister's signature as authentic. Rupchan Edwards said she was familiar with Walrond's signature through her previous service as permanent secretary in the Ministry of Tourism between 2020 and 2025. During her evidence, prosecutors applied to have Diplomatic Note 417 and its accompanying documents shown to the witness for identification and formally admitted into evidence. Defense attorney Cyan Dujon objected, raising concerns about the witness's authority to authenticate the documents and whether all procedural steps had been properly followed. After hearing submissions, Judy Latchman overruled the objections and admitted the diplomatic note and related documents into evidence. Following the admission of the extradition documents, the defense raised a further challenge, arguing that the order to proceed refers only to foreign offenses and does not specify corresponding offenses under Guyanese law. Defense attorneys contended that the defendants are entitled to know the local offenses and mirror the U.S. allegations before the close of the committal hearing.
The documents that are sought to be tendered in evidence against the Mohameds, and I must say, all of the evidence against the Mohameds at this stage are strictly papers. We will not be able to question or cross-examine or test the veracity of any of these witnesses, many of whom are abroad, some of which are local, most of whom are anonymous, unknown witnesses. It therefore means that the procedures to admit paperwork as evidence have to be strictly complied with.
Prosecutors, led by Terrence Williams, responded by outlining a range of local offenses they say align with the extradition request. These include conspiracy offenses under the Criminal Law Offences Act, computer-related fraud under the Cybercrime Act, obtaining by false pretense, forgery of public documents, false declarations, and money laundering and countering the Financing of Terrorism Act.
Well, it is not a practice in the Caribbean for you to make a list of the local offenses before the proceedings start. The law in Guyana is that the authority to proceed must be expressed in terms of the offenses in the requesting state, that is the U.S. offenses, which is what we did.
Earlier in the day, the defense had attempted to halt the proceedings, arguing that related legal challenges remain before the High Court, including an appeal filed against a constitutional ruling delivered on Monday by Acting Chief Justice Devendra Singh. Defense counsel Roysdale Ford urged the magistrate to pause the matter until those applications are resolved. With the key diplomatic documents now formally before the court and the first witness having testified, the extradition proceedings are set to continue on Thursday, January 8. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. 3 political parties are now united in calling for the removal of Susan Rodrigues as public pressure mounts over questions surrounding her sudden accumulation of wealth. Here is more. The Partnership for National Unity Coalition says the scale and speed of assets allegedly acquired locally and overseas after just 5 years by former Housing Minister Susan Rodrigues in office are deeply troubling. The coalition notes that Minister Rodrigues once told the National Assembly she came from humble, working-class roots, claims it says now sharply appear at odds with the financial disclosure emerging in the public domain. APNU argues that this is no longer about politics, but about trust, integrity, and accountability in public office, insisting the minister should step aside to allow a full and transparent investigation or be removed. The We Invest in Nationhood win has echoed that call, demanding the immediate resignation of Minister Susan Rodrigues and Zulfikar Mustafa, Minister of Agriculture. Win says the minister's assets and access to state lands far exceed their official incomes, while ordinary Guyanese wait years for basic opportunities. The party warns that silence from the government only deepens public mistrust. Meanwhile, VPAC is calling for an urgent, independent investigation, citing reports linking Minister Rodrigues and her family to luxury homes, vehicles, commercial properties, and a U.S. purchase valued at more than $500,000. VPAC says this is not about presuming guilt, but about applying accountability equally and ending selective enforcement. All 3 groups say if action is not taken, the responsibility rests with President Irfan Ali to intervene, warning that continued inaction risks further eroding public confidence in governance. The people of Guyana deserve answers, the parties insist. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. The United States' removal of the president of Venezuela and their continued military buildup in the region could have significant impact on the economies in the region. So says Dr. Mark Kirton, who is calling for a bipartisan approach to the Venezuelan issue. Marvin Cato reports.
Whether or not this could be a protracted conflict area, which could impact trade, tourism, movement of people. Already I'm hearing of flights being canceled.
That was Dr. Mark Kirton, an international relations specialist and director of the Center for International Border Studies, on a program at the weekend, putting into context the seriousness of what has transpired in neighboring Venezuela with the U.S. intervention and surgical removal of the president and his wife. Kirton believes regional economies could be significantly impacted if the situation between the U.S. and Venezuela is not solved quickly.
You have that kind of concern and the potential for significant instability, which could spill over for Guyana, to my mind, because when people are looking for safe ground, they will move. And irregular migration is already a problem in Guyana.
He reminded that instability in Venezuela, a country with a population of 30 million people, could have significant impacts on Guyana. The health and social services sector could be easily strained due to an even greater surge in Venezuelan migrants. The former diplomat is calling for a nonpartisan approach led by the government.
There must be what I term a whole-of-country approach. This is a national issue, and therefore all the stakeholders have to be engaged and ensure that the people of Guyana are not subject to misinformation.
Dr. Kirton is of the view that the current and potential challenges facing Guyana and is calling for an all-hands-on-deck approach amidst the politically fractured climate in Guyana. There are serious implications for Guyana, and he is pleading for a bipartisan and multi-sectoral approach to the issue. Marvin Cato reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Thank you, Marvin. Stay with us. There is more news ahead.
I'm sorry. I couldn't take any more of your gaslighting. Just go. I got burned too many times. I went to Quartz and found myself a new flame.
Say goodbye to your old appliances and hello to new ones from Quartz, bringing Christmas home.
Welcome to SNL Electrical Inc., where lighting's and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Thomas Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover a solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc. powering your life with elegance, quality, and care.
Guys, y'all know the song? A rich mama want for the Christmas. Favorite song.
All right, Max, everybody, I guess it's time for me to go.
You're leaving already? Be safe on the road, you know. Don't drink and drive.
Nah, Auntie Grace, I would never do that. Christmas is about joy, not accidents. Real talk. Merry Christmas, everybody. Stay safe.
This Saturday and Sunday, come down to Gafour's all-new Home and Office Center, upstairs of the MacDo Mega Complex. We got everything to fix up your place. Recliners, TVs, refrigerators, chandeliers, kitchen appliances, fitness equipment, outdoor furniture, toys, back-to-school bags, all under one roof at prices you can't beat. We open Saturday from 7:30 to 4 and Sunday from 9 to 4. And here it is. You getting 10% off store-wide every Sunday. So don't miss this opportunity to save big. Call 223-9896 or come down this weekend to Gafour's all-new Home and Office Center, upstairs of the MacDo Mega Complex. Gafour's, the name you can trust. See you there.
Welcome back to the HGP Nightly News. As regional developments continue to unfold following major events in Venezuela, President Irfan Ali has reaffirmed Guyana's commitment to democracy, the rule of law, and the fight against criminality. Find out more from Tiana Cole.
With regional uncertainty following recent developments between the United States and Venezuela, President Irfan Ali on Monday assured residents of Paramakotoy in Region 8 that Guyana remains firmly aligned with nations and peoples who uphold justice, democracy, freedom, the rule of law, and the fight against criminality in all its forms.
We've made it very clear that this is a government that supports democracy, the rule of law, and every effort to crush criminal networks.
The head of state further emphasized that Guyana will continue to stand with the people of Venezuela who share and embrace these same democratic values.
I know that some of you are concerned about development along our western frontier, and those concerns are entirely understandable. The situation in Venezuela remains fluid. Events there are still unfolding, and it's precisely because of that uncertainty that certain calls and demands made upon my government are premature.
President Ali also warned against criminal elements involved in gold and drug smuggling, stressing that such illegal activities have no place in Guyana or anywhere else in the region.
Criminality destroy families and communities. There is no place for gold smuggling and drug smuggling in our society and our world.
He cautioned that individuals who are involved in illicit criminal activities often attempt to mislead communities and find innovative ways of presenting themselves as a custodian of truth.
They find innovative ways of promoting themselves among people as messiahs. That is why you must be careful. That is why you must be watchful. That is why you must understand the fundamental basis on which criminality exists.
Meanwhile, developments in Venezuela took a dramatic turn over the weekend when the U.S. authorities carried out a raid and captured Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife. The duo appeared in a New York court on Monday on drug and other charges. They both pleaded not guilty. Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
On HGP Nightly News, we tell you now that amid the High Court order to remove vendors outside HIP's bakery on ROBB and Alexander Streets, Chief Citizen Alfred Mentor says a project design was already submitted to the mayor and city council as options are currently being explored to relocate vendors. Antonio Day is on this story.
On Monday at a statutory meeting, mayor and city councillors discussed possible solutions to address the issues of street vending and the issues of removed vendors outside YHIP's bakery on ROBB and Alexander Streets. Councillor Dexter Ford said that the Ministry of Local Government and Regional Development must assist the Georgetown Mayor and City Council financially as avenues are being explored to build a facility to house these vendors.
Our issue is funding. I want to ask the people of Georgetown, look, we ain't got the money, but the government got the money. And if we could put forth the plan and the program to assist you, we're asking for you to press them. Those people on ROBB Street, they ain't selling there for fun. They have children, they gotta send to school, they have mortgages. This is serious.
The City Council's administration on Sunday finally complied with a High Court order and removed vendors outside YHIP's bakery on ROBB and Alexander Streets, which sparked fresh demands for proper accommodation for all ROBB Street vendors to avoid unfair competition. City Mayor Alfred Mentor said on Monday that plans are in the pipeline to relocate the vendors on Merriman's Mall between Orange Walk and Clement Streets. Councillor Alfonso de Armas expressed dissatisfaction at the matter not being a priority, which he reminded was discussed on numerous occasions back in 2025. He also raised the issue of effective financial management at the level of the mayor and city council.
This issue has been at the core since February at least, and he stands there as if it's now with newfound urgency. The vendors have been, it's nothing new. He's starting the council. And he stands there, we're nothing new.
Councillor Clayton Hines recommended that data be provided to the mayor and city council as to the number of vendors occupying the ROBB Street area. Hines suggested that it would be idealistic to have numerical information readily available to aid the design and construction process.
We need to have that data. First point I want.
You mean all the people?
If you're addressing vending on the street, you need to get the data. I also know that there is no space in the precincts of the commercial area that you can put these people.
Georgetown Mayor Alfred Mentor has this to say.
But I have a concept of what maybe how we could do that. It could also be a drive-through setup.
Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Meanwhile, in this developing story, Antonio Day tells us that Troy Hip, one of the shareholders of Hip's Bakery on ROBB and Alexander Streets, Georgetown, is setting the record straight on the High Court order that saw the removal of vendors in close proximity to his business.
The City Council's administration complied with the High Court order on Sunday by removing vendors outside Yip's Bakery on ROBB and Alexander Streets, prompting calls for better accommodation for all street vendors to ensure fair competition. City Mayor Alfred Mentor and councillors held a meeting on Monday to explore options and solutions for relocating the vendors. However, Troy Yip, a shareholder of the bakery, stated that vendors can continue their trade until they are relocated. Speaking to media operatives on Monday afternoon, YHIP provided clarity on the court matter.
We are controlling the YHIP's bakery, but I am not the one that is trying to get the vendors off the road. The cousin, who goes by the name of Susan Pemberton, which was changed from Susan Changan to Susan Pemberton. She's not a YHIP as far as I know. She mother's a YHIP, but her name changed. She was never a YHIP. She's the one who's trying to covet the property and move you from there.
YHIP said that Pemberton has been abusing the situation for personal gains.
That she doesn't own any shares. She was representing the other four as power attorney, and the aunt in Canada relinquished the power attorney because after the aunt realized that she was trying to rob them of their shares.
Despite his court appearances to block this, Pemberton has repeated the action. The shareholder said that he personally understands the hardships of the vendors and will allow them to continue plying their trade.
I could open up the shop doors for them and let us sell from the shop and put the bag of pallet outside. Then I put the goods in the shop and sell from the shop and entitled in the room to put out a pallet outside to sell.
Nightly News reported that City Hall dismantled vendor stalls in keeping with the court order. The Mayor and City Council have since submitted feasibility studies for the development of the Vendors Arcade Mall and other areas for vendors to trade. However, Chief Citizen Alfred Mentor noted that securing the necessary finances to realize these plans pose significant challenge and urges the government to provide financial assistance. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
You're watching the HGP Nightly News. Stay with us. There is more news ahead.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455.
GCOM will be conducting a claims and objections exercise commencing January 5, 2026 to produce an official list of electors, OLE, if you will be 18 years or older by December 31, 2025, and you are a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GCOM will be posting the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check if you are listed, and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. If you have changed your address since you were registered, you need to visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your new area of residence to apply for a transfer. Sunday, January 18, 2026 is the last day you can apply for a transfer during this exercise. For more information, contact the GCOM on 225-0278-9 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
I'm sorry, I couldn't take any more of your gaslighting. Just go. I got burned too many times. I went to Quartz and found myself a new flame.
Say goodbye to your old appliances and hello to new ones from Quartz, bringing Christmas home.
Thanks for staying tuned to the HGP Nightly News. The government has officially commissioned the $800 million Paramakatoy airstrip, a major infrastructure project aimed at improving access, reducing transportation costs, and driving economic development in Region 8. Find out more from Tiana Cole.
The government has commissioned an $800 million Paramakatoy airstrip to expand tourism, support high-value agriculture, and stimulate economic development in the Kato and Paramakatoy communities located in Region 8. The project is also expected to significantly reduce high flight costs while improving access to the hinterland. Minister of Public Works Juan Edgil, speaking at the commissioning ceremony, said The 2,500-foot by 50-foot airstrip, constructed with rigid pavement concrete, marks a major milestone for the region. A 100 by 100-foot tarmac was also built to accommodate aircraft parking.
Bring great benefits, reduce cost of living. It will expand the tourism potential of this community. It will ensure speedier delivery of goods and services, whether it's in education, health, social services, because access is 24 hours every day.
Ejel added that despite heavy rainfall, the airstrip remains dry and fully functional. He noted that the project was approved in 2024 and successfully completed in 2025.
During the life of this project, close to 50 plus men and women were employed.
According to the minister, the upgraded facility is expected to lower the cost of living, boost tourism, and improve the delivery of essential services, including education, health, and social services. Meanwhile, President Irfan Ali said the government is allowing airlines and operators time to adjust their rates following the commissioning of the airstrip, ensuring cost savings are passed on to residents.
We're giving them enough time to adjust their costs, because we will not just sit by. We will not just sit by and not allow the benefit of these cost savings to be transferred to the people.
The president stressed that government investments must result in tangible benefits for citizens. He also acknowledged calls for increased airlift and strategic investments to further reduce transportation costs for people, goods, and services.
People are also calling upon the government to make strategic investment to reduce the cost of moving people, goods, and services. Not to compete, but to ensure that people benefit throughout the process of development.
Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
The new school term has commenced, and the Minister of Education has encouraged grade 6 and 11 students to be prepared as their exams are fast approaching.
Those who are in 11th grade, which is Standard 4 and Form 5, and will be writing the National Grade 6 Assessment and CSEC exam. This is an important term for you all.
That was Minister of Education Sonia Parag speaking to students as the new school term commenced.
For the NGSA students, you'll be writing your second mock exams, and then you'll be heading into the finals, which is the NGSA exams itself. Then the CSEC students, you'll be writing your second mock exams for the mathematics, and you'll be heading into your final exams for CSEC.
The minister in her social media post directed her attention to the grade 6 and 11 students who would be writing the National Grade 6 Assessment and Caribbean Secondary Certificate Examination this year. She reminded them of the mock exams they have approaching and encouraged all students to give her their best. Meanwhile, the Education Ministry announced that the January 2026 Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate CXC examinations will be administered using hybrid format. Students will now have the opportunity to do part of the exam online and the other aspect the traditional way. The hybrid model will not apply to the examinations in May-June. That remains the traditional format. With the digital school now operational, grades 6 and 11 students are now more resourced, and it is expected that the students will capitalize on the available resources to aid in their success. Marvin Cato reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Stay tuned for regional news.
Guys, y'all know the song? A rich man may want for the Christmas. Favorite song.
All right, Max, everybody, I guess it's time for me to go.
You're leaving already? Be safe on the road, you know. Don't drink and drive.
Nah, Auntie Grace, I would never do that. Christmas is about joy, not accidents. Real talk. Merry Christmas, everybody. Stay safe.
Christmas at Survival Supermarket, and our year-end promotion is bigger than ever. For every $5,000 you spend, you can win one of 30 prizes. One of 4 Samsung double-door refrigerators, one of 4 Samsung washing machines, one of 4 Samsung 58-inch televisions, one of 4 Members Mark sofa sets, one of 4 portable music systems, one of 4 grocery vouchers valued $50,000 each, and one of 3 sets of car rims, and one of 3 trips to local resorts. The Survival Christmas promotion begins December 4th, with the final drawing on December 23rd, 2026, and the grand presentation on January 30th at our new Little Diamond Supermarket. Yes, this Christmas, spend $5,000 and enter to win fantastic prizes at all branches of Survival Supermarket. Happy holidays and great shopping to you all.
GCOM will be conducting a claims and objections exercise commencing January 5, 2026 to produce an official list of electors, OLE. GCOM will be posting the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check if you are listed and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. If you will be 18 years or older by December 31, 2025, and you are a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. If you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE, you are required to apply for registration if your name is not on the PLE, apply for a transfer if you've changed your address since you were registered, apply for a name change if you have changed your name, or apply for a correction if your registration particulars are incorrect. Any person applying for a change or correction to his or her particulars must provide the required original source documents, birth certificate and deed poll for a name change by deed poll, birth certificate and marriage certificate for a name change by marriage, divorce absolute in the case of a woman who is desirous of reverting to her maiden name from her married name, birth certificate, adoption certificate, or naturalization certificate for correction of minor clerical errors. Visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to conduct any of the above transactions. The claims aspect of this exercise will end on Sunday, January 18, 2026. For more information, contact GCOM on 225-027-8-9 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Good evening and welcome to Tuesday's edition of the Regional News. I am Antonio D. We turn attention to news in Barbados. 2 St. Philip families were on Monday mourning the deaths of 2 19-year-olds who were killed in a collision on Sunday afternoon while returning home from a birthday celebration. The crash occurred at about 2:45 p.m. along Carrington Road in St. Philip. The victims, identified as Raquan Darlington and Jaleisha Blades, were traveling with Darlington's 19-year-old cousin and his 14-year-old sister when the crash occurred. Quoting, "He was a good boy. Everybody got their ways, but he was a good boy," grandfather Stephen Weir said, recalling the last time he saw his grandson before the group left to celebrate his cousin's birthday. Continuing, "I normally see him on a morning to go to carry his sister and brother," he said, describing Darlington's usual routine. Turning attention to news in Guyana. The Ghana Geology and Mines Commission, GGMC, says that 100 Brazilian miners have been suspended from all mining operations with immediate effect. In a brief statement, the GGMC said that it is also suspending, with immediate effect, the miners' permission to operate and any related authorization. Quoting, "Such suspension takes effect immediately and shall remain in force pending the affected person's engagement with and compliance to the satisfaction of the Ghana Geology and Mines Commission," the GGMC said, adding that this notice is issued without prejudice to any further regulatory or enforcement action which the Commission may lawfully pursue. Last week, the Ghana government, through the Ministry of Natural Resources, said that it had carried out joint operations with the GGMC, the Ministry's Compliance Unit, and the Ghana Police Force. And finally, with some international news. United States President Donald Trump says that elections will be held in Venezuela after its infrastructure is rebuilt and oil resources begin to flow. He was speaking to the media on board Air Force One as he made his way back to Washington from Mar-a-Lago, Florida, on Sunday. When asked if he will demand free and fair elections in the short term in Venezuela, Trump said, "We have to do one thing in Venezuela, bring it back. It's a dead country right now." He said there will be need for big investments by oil companies to restore the country's infrastructure, adding if these companies are ready to move in and rebuild. Asked again how soon an election can take place in Venezuela, Trump said, and I quote, "I think we're looking at getting it fixed, getting it ready first because it is a mess. The country is a mess. It has been horribly run. The oil is just flowing at a very low level." Trump said most of Venezuela's oil infrastructure is rusty, rotten, and unusable because nothing has been invested for years. He said Chevron has done a good job in Venezuela, but added that the company has not been in a position to invest because it is operating on a month-to-month basis. He noted that Venezuela has trillions of oil reserves and was asked what is going to happen. He responded, "We are going to run it, fix it, and we will have elections at the right time. The main thing you have to fix, it's a broken country. There is no money, there is inflation." Asked who's in charge of Venezuela right now, Trump said, "We are dealing with the people who just got sworn in. And don't ask me who's in charge, because I will give you an answer and it will be very controversial." Pressed on what he meant, Trump replied, "We are in charge." Thank you for watching. I'm Antonio Day. Goodbye for now and do be safe.
Let's join Delvin Neblet for HGP's Sports Pulse.
Good evening, Guyana. I'm Delwyn Neblet with your HGP TV Sports Pulse for today, Tuesday, January 6, 2026. The construction of the PALMYRA International Stadium in Berbice is progressing on schedule and is expected to be completed by early 2026. The 10,000-seat venue is being built to meet ICC standards, positioning Berbice as a major host for international cricket alongside the National Stadium in Providence. The modern stadium expands sporting infrastructure beyond Georgetown, supporting night matches, broadcast requirements, and multi-purpose events. Designed to also host concerts and conventions, the facility is expected to significantly boost Region 6's economy and serve as a key venue for T20 and CPL fixtures. Intergolf, the Lusignan Golf Club announced via press release that they have entered 2026 focused on growth, strong leadership, and expanded partnerships. Following successful seasons in 2024 and 2025, the club has planned a full calendar of national and regional tournaments, including the AmCham Golf Tournament. The statement further added that ongoing investments in course equipment, golf carts, and clubhouse upgrades are continuously improving playing conditions and member experience. Membership and participation are growing, staff retention remains strong, and corporate sponsors are invited to partner in continued development and facility enhancement. Moving into cricket, the Everest Cricket Club recently held their award ceremony for 2025 at the club's newly renovated banquet hall in recognition of top performers across all divisions. In the second division category, Nityanand Mathura secured both the Batsman of the Year and Bowler of the Year awards. In the first division category, Batsman of the Year award went to Tejan Chandapal, while Javed Rashid claimed the award for the first division Bowler of the Year. Hemraj Gabaran was the Batsman of the Year in the Masters category, while Lukeshwar Mahabir secured the award for the Masters Bowler of the Year. Masters special awards went to Vishan Lal and Shizam Ramjon for the highest individual scores, while Surajdio Ramdeen received the award for having the best bowling figures. Special recognition also went to Tejan Chandapal in honor of his Test recall, while Matthew Nandu was recognized for his senior inter-county Super 50 title and national captaincy. Richie Lucknow was acknowledged for making his first-class debut, while Nityanand Mathura was also acknowledged for his national under-19 selection. Antonel Atwell received recognition for securing the West Indies Over 40s World Cup MVP title. More in cricket, Guyana senior women's cricket team are currently assembled for a one-week training camp in preparation for the upcoming regional Super 50 and T20 Blaze tournaments. Under the management of Clive Grimond and head coach Tremaine Smart, the camp is inevitably focused on sharpening skill sets and building camaraderie among selected players. Team Guyana will be led by the experienced West Indies wicketkeeper batter Shemaine Campbell, with Ashmini Munasar serving as vice-captain. The camp is set to conclude on January 7th ahead of Guyana's first fixture in the 2026 Women's T20 Blaze against the Windward Islands at the Arnersville playing field in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Team Guyana is heavily focused on defending their T20 Blaze title and competing strongly in the Super 50 tournament. And finally, in horse racing, action took place in the Jumbo Jet 2026 New Year's horse race meet with 8 races at the Rising Sun Turf Club, West Coast Babis on Sunday. The feature stakes was claimed by Stat, ridden by jockey Clifton Ross, ahead of One Sharp Cookie, ridden by Jose de Silva in second, and Compañero Leal with Ronaldo Apadou in third. In the L-Class Open event, Republican secured victory with Ronaldo Apadou aboard, ahead of Miss Simran, ridden by Quinton Kelman, and She's a Monaco with Yovin Kisunchan. The K-Class and lower race went into 3D Movie, ridden by Ronaldo Apadou, while Heartland with Yovin Kisunchan finished second, and Donald Trump with M. Semple completed the placings. Irish Eyes captured the I3 and lower 3-year-old event with Quinton Kelman, defeating Rough Time, ridden by Yovin Kisunchan, and Top Gun with Bharat Ramnarayan. In the H2 and lower open, Here Comes Heidi won with Wydra Paul aboard, followed by Mulan with Ronaldo Apadou, and Just Exhale with Kevin Paul. The F-Class and imported maidens race was won by Barbara, ridden by Clifton Ross, with a dead heat for second between Night Beacon with Quinton Kelman and Frantic with Jose de Silva. The 3-year-old Guyana-bred Derby was claimed by Summertime with Yovin Kisunchan, while All the Time with Quinton Kelman and Monica Time with M. Semple finished behind. The 3-year-old imported Derby went to Moonlight Dancer, ridden by Yovin Kisunchan, ahead of Rock My World with M. Semple and Pharaoh Empress with Ronaldo Apadou. That's it for this edition of the HGP TV Sports Pulse. I'm Delwyn Neblet, reminding you to stay in the game.
First witness in MOHAMEDS extradition hearing testifies. Key extradition documents admitted into evidence. Political parties call for the resignation of Susan Rodrigues. Says it is time to end selective enforcement. Dr. Kirton calls on bipartisan approach on the Venezuelan issue. And I am not responsible for the removal of the vendors at ROBB Street. They are allowed to sell until they find another location, says Troy Hip. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm Travis Chase. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.